All right, just gonna test. All right, just gonna test. All right, seems everything is going fine. All right, first off, I want to say all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers and highways and byways pushing this word now, sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom. This is Brother Iron from James Jamaica Camp, and just coming back at you with another lesson. It was actually based off a quote that you know the Lord actually put on my spirit to actually compose, and basically various brothers told me that they actually liked the quote, and it actually resonated with their spirit, and it was really based off a thought, and um with that thought I actually thought about this lesson, actually just getting the time to actually do it, and really and truly I'm actually trying to find a quote so I can give you brothers an idea. Yeah, the quote goes, a lot of people don't understand the concept of death, and that's the very reason they can't cherish life. And really, this is really based on what I observed through the spirit. Once you go through your daily lives, you see you see how the unbelievers, how them operate. You know, this lifestyle of death, right? They really and truly don't understand that they're living in debt. They don't understand that um, what they consider to be the right or the best thing, it's actually the worst for them, because they don't understand the mercies and the knowledge of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They really think that the way that you're living is actually life. You know, just gonna read first precept based upon that what I just said. Um, Actually had the precepts earlier, just didn't find them right away. Right? No, not this one. Slakiakim. This is Isaiah chapter 5, starting at verse 21. As a matter of fact, starting at verse 20 says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight." Right? And really and truly, that is why you can't really like when you see how these people operate, you know that they don't really and truly, they don't understand life. They don't understand death. They think that death is a one-time thing. They think that it's like, all right, yeah, I'm go I'm go up on the road and car hit me, all right, me die, or one day somebody just get up and get a heart attack, or them die. No, that is not it. Death is a process, and also life is a process, because really and truly, life leads to immortality. Death, it's life builds up, death tears down, right? So they don't understand that black culture leads down. Popping pills, getting drunk every single night, eating. Death is a lifestyle. Yeah, and it's kind of an oxymoron, but really, actually, death is a lifestyle. Life is a lifestyle. Life is a lifestyle that leads on to profitability, and death basically leads to a full life. So till eventually, it takes your life, and it doesn't only affect your life in your present generation, but it also leads to even the death of a future generation. Because, as we say, it's a lifestyle. Your deeds, your words, your health, whatever you show whatever example or whatever lifestyle you out there live, it basically come with a few consequences. You know, it comes with there's always a ripple effect, right? Um, this is Deuteronomy. Shalom to the brothers on the comment board. Shalom. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon you. No, Salakia, not 30. Not 30. Wrong precept. Oh, Salakia, chapter 30, verse 19. Salakia. I called, this is Moses speaking to the children of Israel. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. So you see that life comes with blessings, death comes with cursings, right? It says, I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Choose, therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. So you see, it's not an individual thing, right? Your conduct does not only affect you in the present moment, it also affects the seed that is come after, as I said, the example that is set, right? And we have countless examples of examples being set in the scripture, and also gonna get those as well, right? It says that thou mayest love Yahweh thy power, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life and length of days. The unbelievers, them don't trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They don't cleave to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They cleave to Esau. They cleave to Esau's life. They cleave to the democratic way of living. You know, they are everything that has to do with that. They cleave to black culture. You know, they cleave to black culture. You know, when they just look OJ cleave, even a simple thing as adultery, you know, it causes the confusion of heritage and lineage, firstly. Secondly, it causes a destructive pattern. You know, the man catch the woman, and the man him get angry, him kill the woman, him kill the man. You put yourself in a dangerous situation, right? Now, let's say that you don't go that far. You have she produce a offspring where basically it mess up the home, right? Now you have two men who are supposed to be brothers have grievances, so them have evil eye toward each other. Then you have a child come up in an environment where him mother, him father, they're the side man, and you know you have stepfathers and stepmothers, and well, not really stepmothers, because it depends, but you have stepfathers, and you know, child support, baby daddy drama. You know, it comes with a whole, and that is out of what? That is just adultery without the debt. You know, that is just adultery without debt. So and that is just adult. That is one aspect of life. Now, go look at an example of food. You know, you have a baby, you feed them all type of madness. You feed them the GMO milk. You know, you fill them up with sweets, you fill them up with sugar. You know, you see some videos when people are giving baby alcohol, or give baby weed. Now that mess up them brain. When them grow up and you see them start have certain behavior and act out a character, I wonder what happened. Them don't want destructive part. Hey, it's just simply, it just show that. But if you were following the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, then you wouldn't have that mindset of death, right? You wouldn't have that dead mind state to know that, all right, we're going to do this, we're going to. No, it doesn't work like that. It's not that. Hey, this whole YOLO mentality, that is death. But if you believe in immortality, then you know that your deeds. A couple Greek philosophers always say about how your deeds is what make you immortal. And we basically get a scripture on that after take a few scriptures from the comment board, right? Once again, Shalom Akim on the comment board. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, 1. Oh, let me just get it. It's actually, I'm actually going to Wisdom of Solomon either way, so I'll just read it from there. All right, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1 to 5 says, "For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy." Exactly that YOLO mentality. If you live it today, live it to the best as possible. When you say you're gonna just live, you don't mean that you're supposed to live reckless. You don't mean just do anything that come to you because you feel like we do it. No, yeah, in times in life you have to take risks. In times in life you have to face danger. For example, you see a child about hang off of one cliff. You probably have to go there and get them. Them probably there's certain heights are, sometimes things happen. But don't force yourself in a situation like that where, you just, all right, fine. I'm gonna just find one, like Esau, go some mountainside, or I'm gonna do some bungee jumping. You know, um, extreme sports are, you know what, just mess on the, okay, you have Jakes out there, then just they might go with one tiger and just mess on the cops to the fun night. You know, all right, look here, yo, you have them drive mad and reckless on the road. Hey, no rules. As I say, YOLO. I'm gonna drink until my liver's fail. You know, just gonna have sex and whole heap of children without any consequences behind it. You just gonna just do shit. You just gonna be reckless because you only have one life. That is a wayward way of thinking, So that mentality is the mentality that Jake have, right? But as you said, them don't see the effects on the future generation because when they set that example, hey, look on the current generation, right? Um, Continuing the precept, it says, "Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave, for we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostril is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart." But what they don't understand is that you might not be there physically, but spirit, in spirit, or in memory, there are certain things. Now you have many in the scriptures that, let's use the let's use Achan for example. In the book of Joshua, he's according to this the scriptures, he's already dead, right? If you step away from reincarnation for a bit. But what was the example that was written of him, right? What is the example that he left? He basically leave a bad example. Well, good for the elect to learn that, look, don't do these things. But at the same time, the example that he left was an example that his household, if it was possible to track his lineage up to this day, that would be a stain and a shame on his household. It left a reputation, uh, a bad taste in people's mouth, for the lack of a better term. The guy that went to David and said, "Oh, me kill Saul," right? Never do nothing, but because he might try to get what fame or favor, him do that. What become of him? Death. Acre, not Acre, Conan, and the group in Leviticus that came up against Moses. Those those men had selfish desires, pride, you know, things that lead on to death. And you see the results of them action. But as you say, them also stain. If it was a case where you could actually trap them lineage to today, that would be a shame on their family name. To the whole fact that Achan and his whole household were put to death based off a one-man action. One-man action, and your whole household get put to death by the Lord. So that is a process, and that has ripple effects when don't just affect you. Right? It says verse 3 says, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air, and our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, for it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. Right? But as you say, oh, that is just a wayward, that is a bug out way of thinking, right? That is a very bugged out way of thinking, and I'm going to prove this with the next scripture. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, starting at verse 1. It says, better it is to have no children and to have virtue, for the moral thereof is immortal, because it is known with God and with men. So that is it. Your good deeds, being virtuous, leads unto immortality. Because what it is remembered first and foremost with Yahweh Shem Yahushai and with men. And so we're going to get examples from the scriptures where our forefathers actually, even though they died, they still promoted life. Right? It says, when it is present, men take example at it, and when it is gone, they desire it. He weared a crown and triumphed forever, having gotten the victory, striving for undefiled rewards. So you see that when you basically give on a present, people be like, hey, me like how the brother carry himself, you know, hey, that is a good hey, him act with such honor, him act with such valor. You know, he's humble. You know, fruits of the spirit basically. More than fear, hey yo, him thief, or him always a kill people, or him this, or him that, or him gonna get you know, he's a him vile. You know, these type of things, as you say, they carry on. You know, one leads to destruction, one leads to health. As the scripture say, oh, life gives a blessing, curse, Salakia, death gives a curse. Right? So that is the way you get a crown of immortality, or by your deeds, by your actions. Right? It says, but the multiplying brood of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take deep root from the bastard slips, nor lay any fast foundations. For though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind, and through the force of winds they shall be rooted out. Because guess what? When I look at it, everything get put to the test. Imagine, you have some people that do crime for years, and then like if the one time them get catch, I'm like, oh, I never do something. When I look, the evidence stuck up against you, so it maybe that one time them never did do nothing true. But the fact is they get catch that time and not where set I will actually be able to hold you, because that was a foundation of sand. That end up with the fruits of your doing. Right? Verse 5, it says, the imperfect branches shall be broken off, the fruit unprofitable, not ripe to eat, yea, meat for nothing. And that is it. Living in this lifestyle of death. You know, I would say, oh, hey, when going being around these people and hear them conversations, you hear how them speak, you see how them act, you see how them behave, you know, pride, because really and truly they don't understand that what them do is gonna be is very destructive to both body and soul. You know, the doctrines that them follow, you know, the women right movements, and the, you know, the woman is God, you know, everybody are one, like just the whole mixture of the doctrines that this society promotes and breeds, you. Them don't know no other way. So them, because them don't understand the facts. Hey, when you're gone, when a spirit in a body gone, it's gone. Right? But at the same time, there's also a spiritual aspect to death. You know? So what you do is when you're in the moment, you live it to the best of your ability, because really and truly, when the body gone, only the foundation that was set will be able to basically prolong what was set. Just as them say, set up a foundation for the future generation, right? The traits that is inherited actually leads to life going forward, right? So verse 8 says, "For honorable age is not that which standeth in length of time, nor that is measured by numbers of years." And also, it's not measured by the amount of things that you have either, right? It says, "But wisdom is the gray hair unto men, and an unspotted life is old age." So if you have a man who live for 50 years, and all in 50 years, in basically I do all unrighteousness. It basically that not count as none. But if you have a 20-year-old where brought up in a righteousness and all them turn towards Yahweh Shem Yahshai to the best of the ability in all actions, right? And thoughts and deed. That is more considered to be a man of old age spiritually than the man who live for 50 years where do all unrighteousness, right? And as the scripture read earlier, your deeds basically precedes you, right? It says, "It pleased God and was beloved of him, so that living among sinners," Salakia, "he pleased God and was beloved of him, so that living among sinners, Salakia, he was translated." Speaking of Enoch, right? I'm gonna jump to the point again, jump again. Verse 16 says, "Thus the righteous that is dead shall condemn the ungodly which are living, and the youth that is soon perfected, the many years and old age of the unrighteous." Right? It says, "For they shall see the end of the wise and shall not understand what God in his counsel had decreed for him, and to what end Yahweh had set him in safety. They shall see him and despise him, but God shall laugh them to scorn." And that is why when you're out there in a day-to-day life, when people see a certain level of conduct, them scoff at you. They say, "Yeah, we go to the restaurant and them go ask what them have leave." I'm say, "Look, your pork alone may have leave," and you say, "All right, cool," and you left. And the person might be a co-worker or whatever, but they're like, "Why?" Me say, "Them not have nothing with meat. We don't eat pork." Jake, tell Jake they don't eat pork, them lose it, right? But 10 years down the line, when them have all type of diseases, them wonder what happened to them. Or when them have certain heart conditions, then they wonder what happened. Jake always, "Yo, come we go party, and them drink and do all type of madness. The next thing you hear, some nigga step on the next nigga toe or shoes, and they get messed up. Then I look, 6 people get shot. Because of the music where them are listening, I promote them being the hardest and the toughest, and nobody not supposed to violate the set and all type of things, infused with drugs and alcohol, and then throw even at the mix of that, where even witness a next man a step on your toe and you not do nothing about it. There you go. Because them you tell them, say, "Oh, certain music listen to." It's like them lose it because them can't them laugh at this kind of and say, "Oh, what kind of man this?" That's their mindset. Because them don't them see the way. If you tell them to stop the way them do, "Oh, that's an all time day. Why me if you go some booms and listen to my man? Why me if you go some booms? Who want pitney a bird?" You know, them time they are all time days. That's just Jake. Right? They prefer the dead. And when they think about, if them hear about the histories of Solomon and how vast and great his kingdom was, people will more look at that as a fairy tale. They can't believe that, they would have never believed that someone would have been able to live in that level of prestige, much as attribute that to them as those people that were living there, right? Are saying that we are from that of that family. Them really and truly can't see themselves doing. So this current life, this current setup, and whatever Esau says good is all them can see. Right? It says, and they shall hereafter be a vile carcass and a reproach among the dead forever. Right? So I'm just gonna get the example from Eleazar, the high priest, the book of Second Maccabees, and just close it out with that, right? But if I'm gonna jump around a bit as well. Second Maccabees 5. So like okay, I'm just finding the point. Con. This is Second Maccabees chapter 6, right? And we'll start at verse 20, in the interest of time. And this is when Eleazar friends basically them tell him to eat a sacrifice a meat that was offered at idols, right? And then friends say, oh, look here, all right, fine, you're not gonna eat it, pretend like you eat it, right? It's chapter 6, verse 20. It says, as it behoved them to come and are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for the love of life to be tasted. But they had the charge of the wicked feast, for an old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provisions. So basically, I said, look here, as a matter of fact, verse 18 says, Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man and of well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. But he choosing rather to die gloriously than to have stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment. Because hey, never they go stay as it say now stay in life. He says, as it behoved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for the love of life to be tasted. But they that had the charge over the wicked feast, for an old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, brought him to bring flesh, besought him Slakia to bring flesh of his own provisions, such as was lawful for him to use, and to make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king, that in so doing he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. Right? But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age and the excellency of his ancient years and the honor of his grey head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child. So you see that the doctrine that he had from a child coming up, that is what actually held him, and this deed that is written, it's even giving an example. He might live long after him die, because he died much years ago. But we have this as an example as how to even to move forward in the days ahead. In the times of Jacob trouble, when the RFID chip is being offered we pray for the spirit to endure these things, just as our forefathers, like the righteous Eleazar, right? It says, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by God. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straight away to send him to the grave. For it becometh not our age, he said, in any wise to disassemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were now gone to a strange religion. And so they, through my hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to my old age and make it abominable. So you see that in integrity, him keep that intact. So more than people do that and live a little while, him never stain in reputation, because whether or not him pretend, them are gonna know, say, look here, them are gonna have it, say, yo, Eliezer eat pork. And them might take the example, say, look here, whenever your life in danger, you compromise the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, which was what? Leading unto death. But no, him show them the way unto life. For always stay and cleave unto Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, which was stated in Deuteronomy 30, verse 20. Right? It says, for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. Wherefore now manfully changing his life, I will show myself such an one as mine age required, and leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment. So you see that? That is true immortality, because his deeds what? Are known with God and with men. And he say, oh, when he's there, it shall be as an example, and when he's gone, it shall be desired. True immortality, yo, a way that always lead unto life, because really and truly, even though him end up die, it could be a case, it could have been a case like Daniel and the three Hebrew boys, where he was delivered, right? But this is an example unto the martyrs, because as the scripture say, oh, some of us are basically get put to death. But it's an example unto the martyrs, yo, which is beautiful, right? Let me just finish it off. It says, they that led him change the goodwill they bear him a little before into hatred, because the foresaid speech proceeded, as they thought, from a desperate mind. But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, it is manifest unto Yahweh that had the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in the body by being beaten, but in soul I'm well content to suffer these things, because I fear him. You see that? The fear of the Lord, right? And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a notable courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation, right? So basically, that is the most notable example of Yahweh Shai, as he being the author and finisher of our salvation, the example that he did, going on the cross, enduring, all the stripes, right? Making us understand the words of his father. Him say, oh, I am the way, the truth, I am the way, the truth, and the light. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get St. John 3, verse 16. Right? It says St. John 3, verse 16. It says, for God so loved the world, speaking about the elect, the nation of Israel, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And that's the thing. Through Yahweh Shai, through believing in Yahweh Shai, through following Yahweh Shai's footprints, being delivered when the martyrs basically get put to death, when the elect are delivered, right? and basically get put in the kingdom, we are going to be an example. The elect is going to be an example unto the generations which are to come, right? Hence, we are going to have an everlasting kingdom, right? Because after we now go off again, right? But it requires leading by example. And Yahushua first led the church, right? Then they have the apostles and the men of the Lord come down. Those who bear the spirit of faith, right? The spirit of the fear of the Lord, right? Leading unto the spirit and not leading unto the flesh, right? One more precept from the book of Romans, chapter 8, starting at verse 5. Slakia. We'll start at verse 1. It says, there is therefore no condemnation to them which are in Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. Because those that do the whole YOLO mindset, they're after the spirit. You know, the scripture also said, he that wandered out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And that is why majority or the unbelievers are in the congregation of the dead. Because they don't understand life. When they want tangible things. You know, the intangible things, those are the things of real value. These are the things that actually will live on forever. You know, those are the things that will real substance. But because them can't see, like you can't say honor like how you see money. You know, you can't see faith like how you see money. And the thing with faith is it always gets shown at the last minute. You know, when the most I delivered the three Hebrews boy when they're in the midst of the fight. You know? Always some last minute saves. Or not even last minute, but you know, the Lord on his own timing. You know, which requires what? Patience and believing. Children of Israel at the Red Sea, right? When the Pharaoh come upon them, then the Lord opened up the sea. Right? It says, for the law of the spirit for the law of the spirit of life in Yahweh Shai Mashiach had made me free from the law of sin and death. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, God sending his own son in likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. For they that are after the flesh don't mind the things of the flesh. You know, YOLO, I want to live once. You know, my flesh, when I'm dead, I'm just going to bury and gone. But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit, you know, look on the underlying things. What kind of example may I set? What are the benefits of this? What are the consequences of my actions? What really happen right here, so? Right? But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. See that? So you're gonna be like Eliezer, or contend in the spirit, even Yahushai. When Yahushai when he said before him die, it is finished. Fully contented in his spirit, yo. It wasn't easy, but them actually make it out to the spirit and power of Yahushai. So really hope this was edifying and really and truly, hey, that's just as the quote media, this is why they can't cherish life. They don't see the fruits of the spirit, yo. They can't see how beneficial the wisdom and knowledge of how Hashem Yahshai is. Because them the city set up, them don't know no better. Right? Them really can't see how that them actually are living at death. You know, that lifestyle of death, them can't see it. You know, so with that one, say all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, Hashem Kodash. Our honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the brides and highways and byways pushing this word north, sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom.